All right, and we are live.
So we just gonna act like nobody heard that? All right, bet. What's happening, folks? It's the biggest and homie spell the ring of star on your ass CEO commission. I am the hostess with the mostest, and I dip my ball sack in your mom's face, nigga. This is the Speak Up Podcast. And for my white people out there, we want to say this real quick. We love y'all, respect y'all. But every now and then, just when we think y'all cool enough to come to the cookout, y'all do some shit that just like put y'all way out of place, okay? This is the pocket, okay? This is the pocket where y'all in right now. Over here is a section we like to call out of pocket. And all the way the fuck back here, where these tweets and shit you about to see, is in a space we like to call wildin', okay? And y'all wildin' right now. Before we get to what the problem is and break it down, I'd like to introduce my co-host and friend, starting with the homie.
What's good, y'all? VolcyThoughts.
What niggas need a roll call or something? Who's next?
All right. It's me. It's me, Noir. I'm from North Carolina. I'm always, spitting the facts. Y'all heard me. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't like my comments, whatever.
Yo, it's Moth, man. Y'all know what I do, man.
I'm C. What's up from Miami?
Hey. They County in the house.
Yep.
Told you fucked up, man.
Hey, it's Tina, Miami in the house.
The lies you know what? Let me feel.
Shush.
Yeah, we have a couple new members on our on our podcast. We have Tina and then we have C, who have already introduced ourselves. So the topic we have today, as Fed has already stated, it's just something kind of weird, something interesting that we came across. Basically, it's kind of reinforcing some things I've read. Like basically, we have these white girls that basically, they're in their Snapchat group and they, also on Facebook and stuff. You can just see that they're basically discussing how black guys will basically do anything to have sex. Certain black guys do anything they want, anything to have sex with these white girls. They say, look, black guys will do anything to be with a white girl. It's pathetic. And they said, they don't have any appeal. In fact, they're the latest looking. I guess that means least good looking. I don't know. And then it says, laugh my ass off. Ask a white guy to come over 3 a.m. He'll say no. Ask a black guy to come over and he'll say he'll be there in a heartbeat. So basically, they're trying to make fun of the fact that, they think black guys are desperate and will do anything just to have sex with a white girl. They're trying to say we have low self-esteem and whatnot. And honestly, man, it doesn't really offend me. It doesn't offend me at all because I don't feel like I fit in that category at all. But what do y'all think?
Well, I think I'll be a good person to start this one off. So first of all, I'm dating a white woman. That should be the first thing I should say. And all I can say is I would hope that this is only like these specific women having these conversations with each other, and like this isn't some worldwide thing. When we talk about white women, also we gotta think about what we're talking about: American, Europeans, or all women in general. So I think the mindset would kind of vary by the country, but I would assume these are Americans right here. So the American white woman, I guess I can see that being a popular thing because you do see some black men out here who don't like black women and would date any other race besides a black woman. And I don't know specifically white women or what they want, but as far as these comments go, it just sucks. My sister had a girlfriend like this who was talking behind her back, like calling her the N-word and everything, and she found out, and beat her up, So I just would hope that like somebody that I'm personally talking to isn't having this kind of conversation with their friends behind my back. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is, really.
I mean, when it comes to stuff like this, I've always said when it comes to interracial relationships, what we call swirling in the black blogospheres nowadays, there's a difference between finding a genuine connection with somebody who's of a different race and just basically salivating over getting with somebody from a different race. You feel me? There's fetishization and there's actual connection. You feel me? If you go out, somewhere, or you go to school somewhere, or you go to your job somewhere, and you meet somebody who happens to be white or of a different race, and you have a genuine connection with that person, and y'all end up dating, that's all good and well. But I think the issue comes in is when you degrade the people of your own ethnic background, of your own race, and uplift somebody else just because they're of a different race. So it's I think what these women are talking about right here are men who do exactly that. They basically degrade their black women and uplift white women as the golden standard or whatever.
Self-hate.
Yeah, basically
They're trying to uphold they're upholding the beauty standards that have been imposed in America and really in the Western world for the past few hundred years. Personally, I think the beauty standards are changing a bit. I do think it's going towards more of that racial ambiguous kind of look, but that's still high. In general, white women are higher on that beauty standard totem pole than black women are.
Exactly. And me personally, what I'm saying, no offense to your wife, Moth, but black women are the beauty standard for me, and they're the standard of a woman for me. You feel me? That's just for me. I've always said that. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm, newbie queens all day. It's not something that I pander to. It's something that I really actually believe. You feel me? Tina knows me personally, so she'll let y'all know. That's something I actually really believe. It's not something that I just pander on to with people online. So it's it is a shame that I do think that the men that they're talking about, just like I said, are the ones who are swirling just because it's a white woman and not because they have an actual genuine connection.
Look,
exactly.
TikTok niggas, man.
Exactly.
I've seen TikTok dudes that are like, oh, I will date this woman. I was just like, yeah, these are the best type of women. Hispanic women, white women, then light skin. I'm like, what is light skin? That's black, dude. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
It's so ignorant. It's so ignorant.
The thing about that is, I actually used to have that same mind frame that I only would date a sister. And I remember I was having a talk with a group of people, and they kind of talking about having babies and all this, and they was like, "Would you have mixed babies?" And I was like, "Nah." And a girl I was sleeping with was in that group. You know what I'm saying? And she was Asian, and I was like, "I wouldn't have mixed babies. I only would have black babies." You know what I'm saying? But would you be with Would you be with another woman? Yeah, I fuck the shit out of anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up. Anybody that want to give me some pussy, I'm gonna take it. But when it comes to getting married, being with them and dating, like black only. And that Asian girl was like, "Well, why would you have sex with me? But that's how you think. What if I get pregnant? Like, what if something happened and I get pregnant? Like, what would you do? Would you be with me? Like, would you?" Like, I thought about it. I'm like, well, yeah, I would. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, with kids involved, yeah, I probably if it was a mistake happened, I probably would marry you. So that changed my mind frame. Then I met Stephanie, my girlfriend, and it's like, yeah, when I met her, definitely was like for sure, like she's a cool ass woman. You know what I'm saying? Like we're compatible. Like even though we're different in so many ways, like in general, we're compatible. We both like conversating. We both like country music. Shit like that. So a lot of comments. So I think that
I think listen to Garth Brooks out here.
Yeah, man. You know me though. I do all kinds of, I'm a very versatile dude in general. So I do all kind of shit. But for the most part, that's why my views changed though, was because I sleep with other women. You know what I mean? Other races.
Exactly. Now, one thing about this is that if you actually go to the comments on this thread, there's a lot of black women saying that they don't feel bad, they don't feel offended, because black men have been saying shit like this about black women all day. You feel me? So they're not putting the cape on for us, which is what they say. I've been hearing a lot on black social media. Burn the cape or divest. Now, we do have some black women on this thread, and I definitely want to get y'all opinions. Whoever wants to go first, Tina or C, the floor is yours. We want to hear what y'all think.
I definitely understand why they decided to do this kind of thread with each other, because I see it I'm not going to say it that I see it all the time, but a lot of this is because people are desperate. And when it comes to them, fetishizing the lighter skin and all that, and especially like in my instance, like when I was trying to date and stuff, they're like, "Oh, well, you're light skinned, so this and this and that," and I'm like, that has nothing to do with the type of person I am. But you're automatically going to that, you know, and that's today. Like that's 2020 today. Like that's crazy. So, this threat of them just, well, they'll do this, they'll do that, they'll do this. Yeah, some of them will, and that's what's crazy. They won't even think twice.
Yep.
Yeah. I think it's crazy, just like C said. It's definitely crazy how this is still out there like that. But one thing I do know from just some of my friends who have dated white women or whatever the case may be, they're like, listen, we dated because of, oh, she may have too much of this black woman had an attitude, or this black woman this black woman that. We're too rude. We're not, what do you call it? Submissive enough. And it's like, okay, well, are you leading? Are you this? Are you that? There's a lot of different explanations. I could go on. We could go on with it forever. We could go ahead and debate forever, whatever. But I don't like is how they're sitting there and they're kind of making it like the black man is pretty much
a sexual toy.
Pretty much.
Yeah, like
he's gonna do whatever she says. This white woman, she's like, well, I could tell him to come around at 3 a.m. and I could do this. That doesn't mean anything. The fact that you're white, I could call a black man at 3 o'clock in the morning if he's really interested. We're doing something, and he's gonna come over. But so I didn't like that right there. But that's just how I see it.
Honestly, I saw a study though. I saw a study a couple years ago, and it said that I don't know the validity of this study because it was only 800 applicants. However, it was a study by Rutgers University, and they did it on white women and their dating patterns. And it said that white women, about 89% of the white women in the study said they would have casual sex with black men, but only about 13% said they would actually marry a black man. They're actually thinking of a long-term relationship with a black man. So I think that study kind of goes in line with definitely goes in line with this, with this conversation that these white girls are having, that they're viewing us, I guess, across this country as sexual toys and sexual objects. But it doesn't really bother me because like Volcy, I really only date black women, but it's still something that's kind of disrespectful to see for people who are interested, people who do date interracially. This definitely isn't something good to see, but
right.
I don't know.
Now, I do have a little bit about a thing about about black women not being submissive enough, because I believe that's bullshit. But before we get into that, first I want to read one of the comments that we have. It's from one of our viewers, Missy ATN. I put it up. She said she wished black men protected us more, and I definitely want us to get into that. But first, we haven't heard from the biggest of homies, Federal Ranger, because I know you've been quiet this whole time and you got something to say, bro. So what do you have to say, especially about this comment that our dear subscriber Missy ATN put up? She wished black men protected us more. I have something to say about that too, but we'll get into that later. What you got to say, Fed? Here we go.
I said, yo.
Now, I'm gonna take the smooth approach on this because this is really easy. For anyone that watches anime, one of the greatest shows of all time is Full Metal Alchemist.
Facts.
In the beginning of the show, the first thing they talk about in the intro is the law of equivalent exchange. In order to get something of equal or greater value must also be given. White women, understand something. 2 things you should know about black men, or men in general. You can't call a man, not that this has been said, a hoe, and we feel bad about it if we got the draws. Okay. If you call me at 3 a.m. and I know I'm coming for buns, and you say something bad about me afterwards, we don't care. Of course, we'll show up that late for draws because there's almost zero chance that that's not why you're calling us in the first place. Our black women happen to know that booty call hours range between 12 and 5 a.m. Pretty much whenever McDonald's is like not serving breakfast, if that makes sense. Um, One of the things that makes you believe that we're easy is that we're actually at that point practicing equivalent exchange. You want easy dick, we want easy pussy. You may call that low self-esteem. We call that a gainer, a win-win situation, if you will. Your stance as far as what we'll do for easy ass has literally no foundation. Because as much as you wouldn't want to marry us, we don't really want to marry you either. So your claims are baseless at best. Now, while there are several black men who do fawn over you for whatever reason, and if you do, that's your business. Not gonna judge. Don't care. Only observe. That's a very small portion of us. White women also need to understand that around the world, you are outnumbered heavily by our melanated women. So to believe for any reason that you're a prize because a very small percentage of us might want you for whatever reasons we do, don't gas yourselves. It really ain't that deep. Because if a sister called me at 3 a.m,
It'll be the same thing.
I'm gonna go. And guess what? If I don't hit, I'm gonna probably still come back anyway. Because there, for some reason, at least me personally, I enjoy her company in general more than just the sum of her vagina.
Right.
You don't have that luxury with brothers normally, white women. I think you should remember that.
I think it's just because they're not used to other men doing it, so they assume that we're only doing it just for them, or black men
And
doing that are just doing it for them and don't do that for other women.
and by the way,
Not true.
with that brings up another point. When you talk
False
about
exceptionalism. That's what I want to call it.
it was funny when it was like if you call a white man at 3 a.m, he's gonna tell you no. I thought that was like so funny. I get into why, but I'm not gonna do it. So let's just move on. That's where
Yeah,
I'm gonna leave it for now.
because you know what's funny about that is because like I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I've been on the opposite end of this because you guys I'm in the armed services, so I've spoken to people of other races and their dating patterns. You feel me? A lot of these like because I've heard a lot of times especially when it comes to the we wish black men protected us more and stuff like that. I've heard from I've spoken to white men all the time, and as much shit as black men can talk about black women, they talk just as much shit about white women, yo. As a matter of fact, they come to me and ask me how to get with black women because they don't like white women anymore. That happens all the time. So it's like when I hear stuff like oh, black men always talking shit about black women, I'm like, yo, do y'all like talk to men of different races? They talk shit about their women all the time.
Or talk about women of other races. Asian women literally in media on talk shows, on mainstream media, they say, ew, I don't find Asian men attractive. I literally saw a YouTube channel where this guy posted multiple clips of Asian women saying, oh, I don't want to date Asian men, they're not attractive. I had an Asian friend back in high school. She said, I don't find Asian men, I don't find them attractive. I only find white guys, black guys, and Hispanic guys attractive. And to be honest, like I actually found that almost insulting, not as a black man, but insulting as just like a human being. Like you find your own race of men unattractive and you wouldn't want to date them. That's just, to me, that was just kind of like a sign of self-hatred. Yeah.
Now there's a big difference between finding someone unattractive and then finding them repulsive. Because there are some things that are good looking but may not be your cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? There, I don't eat sushi because I'm not a fan of seafood and fish in general. But sometimes you walk past, a California roll, and it's like, this looks mighty damn delicious. But I don't eat the shit. You
I
understand what I'm
mean,
saying?
their
Like,
statistics are pretty bad though. They have for Asian women, like they have one of the lowest rates of marrying Asian men compared to other races. So they don't find them attractive. They just don't date them. But then, so as far as the protect the black women comment, I don't know what do you want? Like what? How would you describe? Actually, how about we direct this to the women of this
Yeah,
conversation?
I was gonna say
What
that.
what would how would you describe black men protecting you better? What would you see? What do you want to see?
Definitely when it comes to them being in the friend setting, definitely back us up
Mhm.
when we have our thoughts about things and making sure that I definitely believe that it needs to come from someone saying, hey, stop doing that, or hey, you know, why do you think the way that you do? This is how I think about it. You know, just making sure that the dialogue doesn't get, you know, escalated and, dog us more, like when it just depends on like how they're speaking to each other about us. I feel like that should be the first thing.
Definitely. I also do believe too, just like we go hard for our black men, if we're out there supporting and being your biggest cheerleader and we have your back, we want that as well. So not just out here in the streets or whatever. For example, there was this like video, I'm pretty sure everybody had to see it. I forgot the guy's name, but he was talking to this one young lady and I guess trying to get her number or whatever, and she turned him down and he hit her with the skateboard, like completely knocked her out. And it was just like, whoa, why is all of that? That's what we're talking about when we
That was
don't get
disgusting.
supported or we don't get protected. Like black men, when they say, oh, support us or protect us, that's what we're talking about. Like flip the narrative. Like don't do that because you wouldn't do it to any other woman.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Okay.
Okay.
It's like
I feel that.
would you say protect y'all physically and protect y'all in terms of like let's say I think for me the best example I've seen is like any black man who is protecting Megan Thee Stallion in terms of like there was a lot of people that were coming at her even though she was the one that was shot in the foot, and I thought it was really messed up. Would you say that
Mhm.
for coming to kind of like show solidarity with her, would that be a good example of black men protecting black women?
Definitely.
Mhm.
Definitely. Like I think a lot, well, not even when it comes to that whole situation. I'm not even gonna get on like the whole women who were backing Tory or anything like that, but definitely that, like, protect her, stand for her, talk, cover her. Like if she's going through that, don't sit up here and be like, oh, she's lying or it really didn't happen and downplay it
Mhm.
because she's strong and black women are strong. You're supposed to be able to go through this or whatever. No, like the same way you guys want support, the same way you guys want to be loved and cherished, it's the same way we want it.
Hmm.
Gotcha. Here's two things that I wanted to point out. Then I'll get to the comment that I see that Miss Etienne put up. Um, here's two things, especially responding to the whole that man that hit the woman with the skateboard. Two things that I want to say is that a lot of this that we see happening on social media of black women not being protected and all these comments that we go through. One thing I want people to understand is that social media is usually a microcosm of society. The reason why we have these discussions and opinions is because this is what we see in our section of social media. If you were to ask, like, I've been to other sections of social media. I've been to Yeehaw Twitter. I've been to Taco Facebook. You know what I'm saying? The Hispanic parts of social media, the white parts of social media, they don't really know what we're talking about over here. You know what I mean? They don't pay attention to it like that. And I've actually asked, white women that I've known in real life, white people that I know in real life, if they heard of these discussions. They have no idea about them at all. You feel me? So when people think that it's a national thing of black women not being protected, we have to understand that this is within our section of society. Nobody else outside of us really thinks this way. You feel me? Because they don't really see it. Be that as it may, our women still feel this way. So we should take that into consideration. If they still feel that they're not protected, we still need to address that our women are not feeling protected. And one thing that I do want to add to that is that the abuse that we usually see on social media that black women face, such as the dude hitting the woman with a skateboard, such as those dudes throwing the girl in the dumpster, that does happen across the racial spectrum. I want everybody to know that as well. It does happen across the racial spectrum, but we're talking about our women right now. So like that's that. I do understand that.
I'm not sure it happens as
that.
often though. Statistically, the mortality rate of black women is actually higher than other races though. Domestic violence mortality rate.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I do agree with that. I do want to add that it has a lot to do with the healthcare community not taking the complaints and the concerns of black people seriously, and we know that happens, and the justice system not taking us seriously either. But again, because we're in a more precarious position, that actually backs up the point of us needing to protect our black women more, especially when it comes to domestic abuse situations, which is why I think the entire mind your own business mindset is actually damaging in a sort of way, because we've mind our own business to the point where women are getting abused and we don't address it. But I've talked long enough. I want to hear what somebody else got to say about it. Marv said, what your boys got to say.
Think about black women being protected. It's like I have two different like opinions on it. I guess I agree with everything y'all was saying too, but sometimes I feel like how can you protect someone who don't want to be protected? Because some black women, they really just don't like want you. Like, you know what I'm saying? They will leave you, like, and you're doing everything in your power, like to be a good person, a good father, a good whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like they will leave you, and it's like, what the fuck did I do wrong? You know what I'm saying? Like, and of course, I dated another black woman, but like, I dated a lot of different women. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they all didn't work out for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, damn, like, I know I'm a good dude too. You know what I mean? Like, I know who I am. So it's like, damn, something had to have, been going on with the woman that I chose. Like maybe I didn't find the right one. You know what I'm saying? But like, definitely, you know what I'm saying, none of them worked out. And sometimes it could have been me too. But it's just like, I think that some women just don't want to be protected. Like they do everything to like break you down instead of trying to build you up. You know what I mean? So I got two different opinions. Like I got to go off experience. Even though there's like stats and everything, I got to just go off of what I've been through. And speak my own story. So that's why I got two different opinions about it.
How about you, Fed?
Well, don't want to lose, the essence of this conversation. The issue of protecting black women totally differs in regards to the, origins of this conversation. First off, these white women don't give a rat's ass whether black women are being protected or not when it comes to the perception that our black men are fawning over them. They don't give a rat's ass. It's almost like when, white women would talk about women's rights. They didn't give a fuck about black women, just, talk about women's rights. So in this particular, scenario, we have these white women. They're not thinking about black women. The only reason they even brought it up in the conversation because black women came for them, or came for them, as they say. It's like, yo, y'all got exposed. This is public. Our sisters came to defend us, and now you're making it a black versus white thing when like y'all started it that way. As far as protecting black women, it's really simple. When I think of what it means to protect black women, it's more so a thing of action and being the buffer to the bullshit they have to experience on a day-to-day basis. It could be something as simple as like being like of almost like a metaphorical, even a physical representation of a shield, where this is being said about black women or whatever, and then I just come out of nowhere and go, "Yo, not today," or "Nah, we're not gonna do that," or "I hear you, but this is not true, and these are the facts to back it up." Sometimes that's all it takes, just being enough to just go, "Hey,
That's some
we'll take
bullshit.
it from we'll take it from here."
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
I know one thing I did.
that's all it really takes.
Yeah, I know one thing I did. I had a friend once. It was like she went to one of my parties, right? I hosted my apartment back when I was in college. And some of the guys, they like asked for a number. And I mean, like the next week or so, there was like all the guys kept trying to talk to her. There was like one guy who was a little bit too spirited and too like, I don't know,
He was thirsty.
excited about trying to talk to this woman,
Mhm.
to this girl, like talk to this girl. He kept like, I remember one time we were hanging out, and then this dude like texted her 5 times and called her 5 times, and then he even left a voicemail saying, "Hey, can we are we confirmed about going on a date Saturday?" And she kept telling him, "No, I'm about to graduate. I'm not dating anyone right now." And I got like really pissed off because I was like, "Yo, you kept telling this dude no, he doesn't know how to accept,
No.
yeah, he doesn't know how to accept rejection. He keeps trying to force her to a date. Like that really pissed me off. So I was like, legit, like, hey, do you need me to like,
Go
if
to
this
bed.
like talk to this dude and if I need to do something, do I let me know? She's like, nah, it's fine. But I just think it's just that's something like as a man, just step in for your female friends. Like even if you're not dating a person, step in and just be like, a shield for them if they ever need to. I know some people gonna be like, yeah, that might be simple. I don't really care, honestly, man. It's black women.
Yeah, yeah.
That's not something at all.
Honestly, I feel the entire, mind your own business, don't be a simp thing has gone to a point where
That's
like
toxic, bro.
even it's become toxic. Yeah, even when women are being abused and everything like that, like we don't really want to get involved. We don't really want to say anything. You feel me? Because like I've seen it before. We've all seen the memes and everything like that. When a woman is getting her ass beat by a dude, and you just see the dude just walking by, just mind his own business. You feel what I'm saying? Because they don't want to get involved. I think that entire mindset of don't get involved, mind your own business. I'm only protecting the women that I know has
Right.
led to this entire thing of us not wanting to protect black women. I want to share this comment by Miss Etienne. And she says here, we share the same struggles, but why is it okay to not be responsible for your healthy mental health and relationships? When I say protect us, more it's in regards to the culture and the workplace, society, and socially. If we can pray, love, and support unconditionally, why is it so difficult to express that in the way that we treat each other? What do y'all think of that?
It's kind of hard to respond to.
Yeah.
Wait, can you post it up again? I need to read all that.
Sure. Let's read all that again.
We share the same struggles.
Why is it okay to not be responsible for your mental health and relationships? When I say protect us, it's more in regards to culture and the workplace, society, and socially. If we can pray, love, and support unconditionally, why is it so difficult to express that in the way we treat each other?
I need a more direct. I think I might need a more I don't know, direct.
I already
I
addressed
think we
this.
need a more.
When I was talking about the simple way it is, the way it means to protect, black women. Again, what they're looking for is the start. The buffer is the one thing, because there's a lot of things that can be stopped with preventative measures, just by able to come up, just being able to come up and say like, yo, cut that out, or yo, this not gonna fly, or just be like, you know what, you ain't got to deal with this, and just step in the way. Like even replace the situation that could involve a black woman with a black man, and 9 times out of 10, it probably won't even fucking happen. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's true.
It's really that simple. Like I said, that's already been addressed.
Any parties y'all see? I know at least one of y'all have seen. There's a guy who is a little bit too like pushy with trying to talk to a girl, and a guy has stepped in and said, "Hey, bro, chill." And that's one of his female friends. I've seen that multiple times.
Even when it's like somebody it's like, yo, dog, the girl don't like you. Move the fuck back, nigga. You being weird, bro. Like shit.
Yeah. Facts. I mean that happens in well, Tina may not know because I've been to a lot of Haitian parties. You know what I mean? And I don't know if y'all seen the way Haitians dance, but it's very, very seductive, very, very sexual. And what happens at a lot of these Haitian parties is that these dudes will like just, you know, kind of come up behind women and try to grab them and stuff like that. And, you know, even if it started to be a trend that even if we don't know the girl, we're not with her at all, we got to tell boy like, hey, yo, relax. You know what I'm saying? Chill. Like, she don't want to dance with you right now, bro. Like, relax, chill. Like, I've started to see that trend happen more and more often. I think that started to come from the fact that all women are saying vocally that they don't feel protected. So I'm glad to see that maybe in a little microcosm of my society, we're starting to see the change. You feel me? Now, one thing I do want to address definitely is something that Tina had brought up before when she says that a lot of her black homies that went to white girls are saying that because, you know, black women are not submissive enough and they're not, you know, cooperative and everything like that. I personally feel that's complete and total bullshit. You feel me? But before I get into why I think that's bullshit, I want to know what y'all think and anybody, because
I think
I've
it's
heard that a
bullshit
lot.
too.
That
I
black
think
women are
it's
not submissive. I think
bullshit.
that's bullshit.
Dude,
I
that's
think it's completely
easy.
bullshit. That's that stuff. I don't know. That's honestly that's kind of the comments you hear a lot in like middle school, high school, and you start internalizing the thoughts. Once you actually like grow up, like once you actually grow up and develop like your own personality, and then have some confidence, some self esteem, and whatever, and do everything you're supposed to do to kind of like, you know, make the woman feel comfortable, they will be submissive. I don't really see that that really being an issue, honestly. So
What you was
I
gonna
don't
say?
know.
Bruh. Submission for most niggas literally only means what amount of my patience is being satisfied for the shit that I want. The minute you can't get something at the speed that satisfies you, all of a sudden somebody's being difficult. Nigga, has it ever occurred to you that either A, you haven't done the shit required to get what you want, or that B, maybe you just need to wait it the fuck out? It's not that hard. So when they say, you know, white women are submissive, no, the fuck they not. They just satisfy the speed of you getting what the fuck you want. And usually the return isn't like as good as the fucking investment, bro. Like, and that's the part that bugs me. Like, black women can be totally submissive. Everyone fucking knows that, dog. Like, but again, just because they're not doing it when you want to, how you want to, now a person being difficult. The minute that something is like more worth, the minute you have to do more work for what you want than what you would want to do, all of a sudden something's being difficult. That's all on you, Bucko.
Yeah, I mean,
I completely agree.
Well,
yeah, me in my opinion, what I'll always say is that I looked at what my pops did, what my brother-in-law did. My pops and my brother-in-law, they tell my pops to my moms that he loves her every day. He provides a house for her. He protects her any way that he can. He values her opinion, and he uplifts her all the time. You feel what I'm saying? Like, there is not, when I was growing up, there was not one day I didn't hear my dad tell my mom that she's beautiful. You feel me? There's not one day I didn't hear my dad tell my mom that, hey, you know, I love you. Or there's not one day I hear my dad said, hey, what's your opinion on this and what's going on in the church? Or what's going on with these bills? Or what should I go on with this investment? You feel me? All that made my mom submissive to my dad. And my brother-in-law does the same thing to my sister. And just as an extra, my sister makes more money than her husband, than my brother-in-law. She makes at least $20,000 more than her husband, but she's submissive to him. Why? Because he uplifts her, he values her as a person. He tells he loves her every day. Like, these shits is not difficult, and I've never understood why there's these scores of, I'm not sure if it's scores or just people that I've heard from, all these black men that's saying that black women are difficult and not submissive. Getting along with black women is not hard, and I've never understood why there's this mindset that exists for.
It's basic psychology, bro. You ever heard of Maslow's hierarchy of needs?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a pyramid of 7 different needs that must be met in order for an individual to have full like self-actualization. You know, it's the basics from food, shelter, love, security. You know, an opportunity to feel like you actually accomplished something, self-actualization and realization. That the reason why, like you said, the reason why your sister is submissive to him is because he satisfies all of those things. He's, you know, in his basic psychology. People who are complaining about that, they're just not good at. They're probably either choosing someone who's just really bad, or they're just not good themselves at offering things to other people that can make them submissive. Like that's really the
One of it is that I think
Yeah.
Tina wanted to say something. My bad, Tina. What you want to say?
No, what I was gonna say actually, Fed did go ahead and answer, so it's cool.
Cool. How about you, C?
Yeah, it definitely has a lot to do with satisfying those different things. It's just that, you know, in my experience, it has been, you know, either, dealing with Black men. Sometimes they do reference something that happened to them in the past to justify what they think about Black women now. And I don't think that's fair at all. There are grown Black men that, are on their shit and are, doing what they need to do for us. But when you're dealing with someone, especially when you're dating, it still goes back to that. And I feel like it's more, today, definitely, since we have the social media and we have these different things, and there's just, those people are just not all the way, mature, I guess.
I completely agree.
I just want to say, when it comes to like Black women being submissive, I first think that any woman can be submissive. It's just up to the man. Like honestly, like it doesn't really matter who the woman is. If you're a strong man, like if a woman see that, you go to work every day, you take care of your responsibilities, you take care of your household, you take care of your kids. If a woman see that, she go automatically be submissive to you, no matter what her race is. Because you just gotta be strong. You gotta be supportive. You gotta be tough. You gotta be that figure that we always talk about. Like that strong Black man. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much all I gotta say. Like that's just the key. I mean, you strong, respected, man.
It's really just like I was talking about the other day, the grander scale of what, I like to call the pussy getting processed. I mean, not just for pussy, but like anything. Effort divided by time equals what the fuck you want. If you're not doing one or the other and the equation is off, you're not going to get the results, bro. Like, and to the white women, to go back to the original topic, it's not our fault that the effort on top of the division side is this damn small times all the time in the world we got that y'all make for us equals the pussy getting processed so much easier. Again, don't gas yourselves. You're just that easy, and we don't mind equivalent exchange. Trust me, the shit we got going on over here is far more complex.
A lot of dudes making it worse though. They've gassing them up.
Yeah, man.
No, hold on. I'm gonna say this. They're not gassing them up. The thing is, that pussy getting processed for whatever it is that effort is their effort to go get that from the white women, whatever it may be, is next to none. Next to none. Because the white women don't have the stressors that Black women deal with on an everyday basis that contribute to the way that they have to be difficult. Not that they are. Because if you can get past that, work with them, you can still get someone to commit, submit, and like be with you and be happy. But instead of you trying to figure that out or even work with that woman, you see this carefree, happy ass, no history of trauma, Jim Crow, slavery, all of the bullshit white woman who don't know what it's like to deal with, like struggle to begin with, because she's privileged out the gate. She ain't gonna have the stresses that a Black woman has. That's why it's so easy for you to go deal with her. Because if you dump her ass, daddy could come shoot you, husband come kill you, her fucking patrol cop father come put your ass in jail or prison. It's so easy for her to get off on you. But with a sister, you ain't got that fucking opportunity. It ain't finna go down. And if you do wrong her, there's little to no consequence. White women understand this subconsciously. That's why it's like it's nothing for them to take advantage of a Black man coming that way, because one, it's easy on both sides. They don't lose nothing by dealing with us, and we don't really gain shit by dealing with them. Real shit. But on our side with our sisters, there's a lot more work to go through. And that's why Black women can say, why don't we protect them? Because we both, as both black men and black women, know the issues that we deal with as a people. It's going to take some work to get to a happy place in general before you can even fester a happy relationship. But on the white side, that equation is already out the window because they don't have that. So that's really what that is. But for some black guys that are like, yo, all I want is this nut, or I want this right here, it's easier to get this over here than it is over there. That's really what it is.
Yeah, no. I mean, I get that, and yeah, man.
I still think
It's
we have
It's not a
take
fair
some
deal if I don't eat.
I still think that we have to as black men, the black men who are doing that, they have to take a little bit of responsibility for why they think that a little bit. With the way you look at TikTok videos doing that, comments from different NFL players saying, "Oh, black women just so angry or so mean," whatever, like just stuff like that. That's definitely going to contribute to them thinking like that.
It is, and I will say we have to take accountability. But the thing is, that accountability is simply in choice. Why are you choosing to believe or choosing to take the easier route? That's a choice to not see what's up with the sister that you probably could be happier with. So you mean tell me that because you want to deal with a woman who doesn't have the shit going on, that a sister that will probably do more for you at that point you go take the easy way out. That's you being a sucker. That's sucker shit. Especially if you got the money, because money doesn't buy happiness and don't solve our problems, but it could damn sure help. You telling me that a person with money, especially if you got a lot of money, you don't want to take what could probably be minimum effort resources to help this person that wants to be with you, that you also desire, and just go, okay, it costs me no money, no time, no effort. Fuck it, I'm gonna be with her.
You know what?
That's a choice.
You know what it is, man. It's just like you said. The human mind takes the path of least resistance. You feel me? So because people have in their minds that black women are so-called difficult, which is horseshit. They're not difficult at all. But because they have in their mind that the women are difficult, they want to take the easier path, which is gonna be this carefree white chick, just like you said.
Well, it's only easier because there's more of them though. If you think about it, it's easier because that's the other 87% of the population is not black. That's really the reason why it's easier. Of course, it's easier to dig out of.
Sure.
Huh?
If we talking in America, sure.
America. I mean, yeah, we're talking about this whole conversation in America. Like, if you talk about the whole 87% of the population, that's obviously going to be easier. That's a much bigger bag to dig out of. But yeah,
there's one last comment that we gotta address from one of our Facebook followers, and after that we'll wrap it up because we've been here for almost an hour. So let's see what y'all think about this. The same people raised us. We were all raised with toxic ideas about vulnerability, emotion, love, relationships, and gender roles. But we tend to behave as though the behaviors that we exhibit that have been passed down are something that the opposite sex is doing to us, rather than something we grew up from. It's difficult to express that love towards each other because we forget that what we have in common. Black men will raise and not express emotion. And I'm sorry, it gets cut off.
Okay, see the whole thing.
Yeah, it cuts off. That sucks. It cuts off because I'm pretty sure this was a great comment. But thank you, D, for that comment. But I believe it does wrap everything up. All this comes from essentially the way we were raised a lot. We're raised to not express emotion.
People so bad, man. Like family wise, it all starts with the family. Just gotta stop treating our family like that, man. Like I know pretty much every family, man. You see small battles going on. Issue between this person and that person. It escalates, or certain people might not like. There might be a mother or a father, they may not like somebody, and then the children learn to not like them, even though they don't really personally know them. Just silly stuff like that. We just, as a community, we just got to stop treating our people like that, man. Stop holding the grudges. It's just not worth it, man.
We gotta stop making toxic traits attractive in dating. I don't understand that at all. But that's a whole nother episode that we could talk about that later, because like the entire meme with the black dating scene of us being, the toxic dick or the toxic pussy or the ratchet being attractive. I don't understand that shit at all. But we'll talk about that another time. For now, let's go ahead and wrap it up. So what you got any final thoughts for us, Moff?
Man, the thing about the interracial dating scene, I personally don't think it's easier. I think it's pretty much the same. Like honestly, like because yeah, I get that the black woman went through the same thing we go through, but at the same time, it's like, what's the difference? Because she can do whatever the white woman can do too. Like, I mean, what we got the
Can
same.
she?
I mean, yeah. I mean, what are you talking about? Like,
Hmm.
what? Why can't she? Like, tell me why she can't. Like, of course she can. Like, you see them do it all the time. So it's like, I mean, they're in college. I mean, they're the main ones in college. You know what I'm saying? So,
I
First
feel it.
self-made female millionaire, black woman,
yeah,
black women.
like, black women can do whatever they want to, bro. Like, so I feel like if I had a black woman, she's gonna be an educated woman that's working hard, probably gonna make 80K or something like that, like making good money. Like, I'm gonna have a woman like that regardless of who it is. Like, it's just that I feel like if I was to meet a white woman or an Asian woman or Puerto Rican woman with whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I want to meet another woman, like she's gonna be on that same level. That's how I see things. You know, like that's just the kind of woman I'm gonna attract, regardless of her race. You know, so it's like if a white woman was poor, I probably want to attract her because I'm not usually around those kind of people. You know what I mean? So it's like it's just kind of like who you're around. That's what you're gonna attract, regardless of the race. That's why I don't think it really matters.
Gotcha. Final thoughts, C?
It's never a good thing when a black woman laughs before she say some shit.
It's not.
You in trouble, boy.
In trouble now. What we said.
What's your
Yeah.
final
I
thoughts?
like C. She gave me that nervous laugh, like bitch. Watch.
No, I mean, of course, I'm gonna respect his opinion, of course, but as far as what he said, you know, that might be his experience, but I just no, I did. Um, when it comes to black women and of course their success, it takes tooth and nail to get to that point. So of course a white woman can do that. Of course a Hispanic woman can do that. Of course any other woman can do that. But it's just that much harder for a black woman to get to that point. So you attracting her, that's a blessing, you know, because
Unless you that chick from last night who didn't know how old her son was. Never mind. Let me get off her.
yeah, I'm saying it's still different. I don't agree at all that it's the same when it comes to success and attracting them and having you know someone that can provide and just when it comes to having that with a black woman, it's harder for her to even get to the point that she is at, whether she's at 80K or 60K or whatever, if she's a CEO, whatever. But no, I don't think it's the same.
Okay, no problem, no problem. All right, then you are intellect. What are your final thoughts?
I mean, my final thoughts. So, just with the whole thing, man. Like, black men, you gotta stop thinking that the white people's ice is colder. Like, this has been going on for over 100 years. It started with Jack Johnson. He dated a couple black women, had issues, and he's like, "I'm gonna date white women," and he still had those same issues when he dated white women. So, just white people's ice is not colder. It's just if you date outside your race, you're opening up your pool to a higher population. That's it. It's not any better or worse. And don't stop gassing them up. And then another thing too, with the protect black women. I mean, I just say whatever black women that do what you can to try to protect those women that are around you. And yeah, like she said, treat black women like you treat your mother or sisters. I mean, just protect every woman. Like you ain't gotta be Superman, but do what you can.
Gotcha. How about you, Fed?
I do not eat pink meat, boy. Okay? Under no circumstance. I did the shit one time. It's never gonna happen again. White women. Come here. Bring it in close. Bring it in real close. Listen to me. Listen to me carefully. All right. Are you listening? You sure? Remember the 3 things I told you tonight, white women. The law of equivalent exchange, the minimal effort for the pussy getting process, all right? And that you don't have the things holding you back that mentally fuck with your mind on a day-to-day basis, which allows you to have a more care-go-lucky attitude and shit that we enjoy because all men want in general, like men otherwise, all we want is peace. If you have so much peace, you're always smiling and bubbly and shit, we want to be around that shit. But once we come to our senses, you're not that enjoyable to be around.
Damn. Wow.
For real. Because if you were, this coach would be a lot more mixed. Twitter that.
Yeah. All right.
Drink tea and get money.
All right, so my final thoughts is yeah, I do agree with Noir when he says that those men got to take responsibility for hyping these girls up to think that, you know, they can treat or think that about black men, think about us lower, because a lot of them do feed into the stereotypes of us just being masters in the bedroom but not being able to be married and not being providers. They do salivate over these white women. I think that's what black men they were talking about, because regular black guys like us, like me, like Noir, like Fed, like Moth, we're not.
That's the only married guy here, by the way.
Exactly. We're not gonna sweat you just because you're white. We're not gonna do that. You feel me? So that's something that does happen, and that's why I was going after them. But that ain't all of us. So don't apply to all of us. And I don't even feel, upset that there were black women who weren't standing up for these black men, because a lot of our sisters, they warned us. They warned us about this. You feel what I'm saying? 100%. So I can't even get mad.
Men who think like that don't need any support.
And we don't listen to them niggas no way. Whoever out there gets you, we probably don't fuck with them niggas no way. Them the same type of niggas that if they didn't have sex in 6 weeks, they would probably fuck a rabbit if they were kept fast enough to catch one. I don't trust them niggas. Whoever gas you cannot be trusted and probably pour milk in a bowl before the cereal. Fuck them.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, man, a mature black woman, you uplift her, you support her, you protect her, and you tell her you love her every day, she will be submissive. All right.
And
you do what a man is supposed to do. All right. So stop with the bullshit. Black women can be just as submissive as anybody else. Black women are not as difficult as anybody else. It's just as us as black people, we've been through more stressors in society. And you know that, black men. So stop with the bullshit. All right. All right, y'all. So I think that's all we got for today. Very, very good discussion. We did go for over
almost.
Why y'all be trying to do this whole time limit bullshit, bro? Like, why y'all be doing this? Like, cut it out.
We're supposed to do these off the wrist for 30, 45 minutes.
Nigga, bro. Off the rip means we just off the rip. Fuck it. Like, these are all episodes and shows. Listen, if you're watching this show, don't be up and pay attention to this whole order bullshit, okay? We just out here. Enjoy the show. Subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and all that. You know, fuck with us on the blogosphere. Follow me at Magic City Mike's everywhere. Follow Sir Volcy, my dog Mom. Follow C to her house. I want to see what you wear at night. Wifey already saw the picture to think you cute. Now see, if that means nothing, that's even better. You feel me? Hold up. Hey! 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 Hey!
Jeez. All right, y'all. I'm gonna see y'all later. Good talk, y'all. Yeah. Good night.